Good evening, everybody. I'm going to look at an article that's not really Coomera Connector related tonight, but it is related to things that are happening in Eagleby. See, I'm not sure if you know much about the fire ant issue that's been happening in the farms in Eagleby Road and Schmidt Road and all that sort of stuff. But fire ants are a big issue in this area. So I thought I'd have a read through this article, which I found. Which the only reason I saw it was because it's on the same page as the petition calls for an alternative Coomera connection, which I've actually read through that article on another video, which I'll link. I'll put it up here in little cards. I actually read the full version that's on the Courier Mail website. So yeah, so this website that I'm looking at is actually quest.smedia.com.au/Albert-Logan-news. So it's where you can actually look at the Albert and Logan news online for free. So yeah, I'll leave a link to that in the description. So this article is Fire Ant Funds Wasted. So this is written by Judith Kerr, who's been a fantastic supporter of the Eagleby community in the recent weeks and months. So a horse owner at North Maclean has accused the state government of politicising and wasting fire ant funding. North Maclean horse breeder Gregory Copley said the helicopter fire ant program had been run in his area for 6 years but had failed. Mr. Copley also said the state government relied heavily on the federal government money, politicising the funding. The fire ant program money is not being spent effectively or efficiently and is being used for political purposes, he said. But known fire ants whistleblower and former senior fire ant police officer Pam Swepson said the claims the money was being used by the Labor Party for campaigning were incorrect, as the previous LNP government had also continued to misreport the program to access federal funding. Dr. Swepson said that the funds went into Treasury accounts and were not going to union coffers. The federally funded program in Queensland received $411 million in 2017 to be spent over 10 years to combat the pest. Since then, the program has come under fire with accusations about the waste of funding, about the waste of funding, of the vigilance and continued widespread movement of the fire ants across the state. The National Red Imported Fire Ant and the Electric Ant Eradication Program Principal Engagement Officer said staff could not be compelled to join a union. She said the program would be happy to consider any evidence supporting Mr. Copley's claims. The bait used by the program is not harmful to animals or humans and is specifically targeted at the fire ants, she said. It consists of a corn grit soaked in a mixture of soybean oil and an insect growth regulator, commonly found in flea collars. The bait breaks down in a matter of days. The LNP Shadow Agriculture Minister Tony Perrott called on the Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk to come clean on Mr. Copley's claims about the alleged politicising of Biosecurity Queensland. The LNP has serious concerns about handling of the fire ant program under Labor, he said. Landholders deserve to know if the $411 million war chest given to the Labor government to combat fire ants is being allocated and used effectively. Mr. Copley said the program was a failure and even after 6 years of treatment, his street was still infested. I had my first visit from Biosecurity Queensland on the 15th of October 2013, he said. Ever since then, the department has been trying to eradicate the ants from this area, which is a joke. When they made a similar subsequent visits, on each occasion, their expensive heat-sensitive sensing machinery established that there was horse manure on my property, but no fire ants. Mr. Copley took photos of the fire ant nests at his neighbour's property in October last year after Biosecurity Queensland's biannual helicopter treatment dropped baits from the sky. He said the costly helicopter treatment had been continuing for 6 years. This photograph showed Biosecurity Queensland staff in high-vis shirts spraying at his neighbour's fence while the horses looked on less than 1 metre away. They also showed Biosecurity Queensland staff using vehicles to spray along the fence lines. Now, I know our federal MP, Bert Van Manen, is on this. He is really very concerned about the fire ant issues and has some quite innovative ideas on how to start solving it. Fire ants are a huge issue. If you don't know what to look for fire ants, I'll leave a link, a card up here, showing a video that I've done on my personal channel of a fire ant nest on my property. Now, my neighbour, before the floods in 2017, had, I think it was like 20 odd fire ant nests that the DPI was aware of, that they failed to treat. When the floods came through, those fire ants spread all over this area of Eagleby. I know the cane fields are full of the fire ants. Mick has done a fantastic job of, whenever he harvests his cane, makes sure that he gets all the fire ants that could potentially be in them and get them out. But he's been bitten so many times by fire ants, and it's a really big problem. It's very important that you actually know what to look for. I wish I had a solution to this, but I don't. All I can do is make it so that you're aware of what the fire ants look like and know that it is actually a big problem. So if you've got any comments, questions or suggestions, leave them below. Another issue that one of our other property owners had the other day was when they had the DPI come out. They had over 200 nests, and the person that came out was hesitant about putting that much poison into the ground. So I'm not so sure about how safe it is either. But anyway, I just wanted to bring this to your attention, that fire ants are a big problem in Eagleby, and you need to be aware of them and you need to know what to look for. So I'll actually pause this video and bring up my video that I've done on the fire ants so you can see what they look like, what a nest looks like. Okay, so I've searched Janderra Fire Ants, and I'll leave a link up here. Better take a little while to load. So the internet's a bit slow. Good afternoon, everyone. So this is a fire ant nest. I don't know if you can see them. They really are very small. Generally, it's a good idea not to disturb it too much, the nest, because they are known to get quite cranky. I don't know if you can see it at all, actually. But it's not huge, but you can tell they're specifically easy to see after it's rained. Anyway, that's a fire ant nest. If you see one of those, make sure you call the DPI immediately, and they'll come out and check it and treat it. I'll have a look and see if I've got another video that actually shows the nest, because that one shows what the nest looks like, but you didn't actually get to see the ants. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, so here's a welcome to Janderra. Have some bad news. By the looks of it, I have got fire ants. For anyone that hasn't seen the nest, this is what it looks like. I'm going to get the DPI out to come and have a look, but I'll disturb the nest a bit and you can see what they do. They get really grumpy. So you can see them all? I don't know if you can see them. If you can see them. I don't want to get too much closer because these little guys bite. There they are. They're very, very small. And the nest generally looks like that. It doesn't have any obvious entrances or exits from it. But it's a lot easier to see ants after it's rained. So yes. And as you can see, the nest is fairly loose soil.
And there's no discernible hole at the top where they go into.
But yeah, anyway, I'll leave a link to this video so you can have a watch of it closer if you like. There's still a bit more there to it. So yes, have a look and be aware. Anyway, have a great day. Bless you.